So, what if you could completely redesign your life in the next 180 days? I know, it sounds kind of crazy, right? Well, today we are breaking down a really powerful framework from the legendary business philosopher Jim Rohn on how to do exactly that. Okay, let's get right into this plan.
Ron kicks things off with a question that, it just hits you right where you live. Do you spend more time planning your 2-week vacation than you do planning your own life? He points out that people will spend hours picking out the right hotel, but won't take even 30 minutes to consciously design their own future. It's a pretty powerful and, let's be honest, a slightly uncomfortable thought, isn't it?
And that leads right into this crucial follow-up. Seriously, think about it. If nothing changes, if you just keep on your current path, where will you be in 6 months? Same job, same bank account, same nagging problems? Rohn's point here is so stark. What you don't actively change, you are passively choosing. So that begs the question, why 6 months? Why not a year? Or why not just 30 days? Well, this is what Rohn calls the 6-month sweet spot, and it is absolutely key to this entire strategy. And the logic here is it's simple, but it's brilliant. A single month is often way too short to see any real meaningful change actually take root. But a year is so far away that it's just way too easy to lose that initial excitement and, well, procrastinate. 6 months, though, that hits the perfect middle ground. And this brings us to the core concept, which he calls realistic urgency. I love that term. It's this perfect balance, right? You have enough time to make massive, substantial changes in your life, but the deadline is just close enough that you feel the pressure to start. Like, right now. You simply can't afford to put it off. Okay, so let's get into the first of the 3 pillars in this plan. It all starts with the internal work. You've got to design your future by first mastering your own mindset. The entire foundation of this plan is summed up perfectly right here. Clarity is power. It's so true. If you don't know exactly what you want, you're going to get these vague, fuzzy results. But if you have sharp, crystal clear goals, you get sharp, defined results. It really is that simple. And here is the perfect example of what that actually looks like in practice. A fuzzy goal is saying something like, I want to be happy. I mean, what does that even mean? How do you measure that? But a sharp goal, that's what you see on the right. Increase my income by 40%, read 12 books, and lose 20 pounds. See the difference? One is just a wish. The other is a target you can actually aim for. So the whole point here is adopting this new philosophy. Look, it's not about what happens to you. It's about what you do about it. For your life to change, you have to change. You have to stop wishing things were easier and start wishing that you were better. This is all about taking radical 100% responsibility. All right, so once that mindset is locked in, it's time for pillar number 2, building your system. This is where we translate those sharp goals into real, concrete daily actions. Rohn's philosophy here is that success isn't some big magical event. It's just the natural result of doing the basics over and over again. The real challenge, he always said, is that the things that are easy to do, well, they're also very easy not to do. Let's use a super simple example he gives. Just read 10 pages of a good book every single day. That sounds incredibly doable, right? Almost too simple to even matter. But look at what happens when you apply that tiny, consistent action over our 6-month time frame. All of a sudden, that tiny little habit has compounded into 1,800 pages read. Now, that's the magic of consistency. And what does 1,800 pages actually mean? Well, it translates to roughly 7 potentially life-changing books. Now just stop and think about that for a second. Do you think that absorbing the wisdom from 7 incredible books would change your life in the next 6 months? Yeah, of course it would. That is the power of small, daily discipline. So the system he lays out has 3 parts. First, you've got to document your life. Keep a journal. Track your progress, your ideas, what's working, what's not. Second, establish rituals, because what you do every day matters so much more than what you do once in a while. And third, stay focused. As Rohn always said, where focus goes, energy flows. Don't major in the minor things. Okay, on to the final pillar, and this is where it all comes together. This one is all about mastering the external forces around you by literally engineering your world. This is probably Jim Rohn's most famous idea, and for a very good reason. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Just let that sink in for a minute. Who are your 5? Are they pulling you up, or are they holding you back? So engineering your world really means being super intentional about these 3 things. First, your association. You have to actively increase your time with people who inspire you and make you better. Second, your physical environment. Create a space that actually energizes you and supports your goals. And third, accountability. Find someone, a partner, a group to report your progress to. It's amazing how we'll do more to avoid letting someone else down than we'll do just for ourselves.
Okay, so we've got the mindset, we've got the actions, and we've got the environment, and now we get to the most important part of this whole explainer. Your next 6 months, they start right now.
Here is a core truth from Rohn's entire philosophy, and it's so powerful. Life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. Intentional, deliberate, designed change. Growth isn't something that just happens to you by accident. It's a choice you make.
And here's the unavoidable reality. Time is going to pass whether you take action or not. 6 months from this very moment, you will arrive somewhere.
And that brings us to the only question you really have to answer. Where? Where will you have arrived? Will it be the exact same place you are today? Or will it be somewhere new, somewhere better, somewhere designed by you? And that's really the ultimate takeaway here. The next 6 months of your life are going to happen. They can happen by accident, or they can happen by design. Your design. The choice is yours, and the time to start designing is right now.